Okay, hi. So let's start this stream, which might be strange or might be actually good. I don't know yet. Uh, I came up with this idea recently because at some point in time I found myself like you install npm packages and it takes half the eternity, and you got bored and you just stare into the terminal, waited to be finished, and your brain just does this trick. It just catches the name of some package or something like this. And I was curious enough to just go to npm and look it up, what the hell this thing does with this funny name. And I ended up finding some nice package which I used several times, and was happy about it. So what I'll try to do today is just to get some popular package, install it, just go into the node modules and see what it uses inside, and maybe we'll find something interesting. Maybe we won't, because not all things are interesting, but still we'll hope to find something there. I mean, any node module, any node package has at least 20,000 dependencies inside their node modules, so there's definitely something there. I just made up this number, so don't trust it. So for today, do I have Git? Yes, I do. Why do I need Git? I have no idea. So let's start with something popular, well-known, and we'll see if I'll find something there. So I'll just add Webpack as dependency here, and yarn is not found, but npm should be. Yay! Should not forget to look at chat. Okay, someone sees me doing something. It's good. I hope you also hear what I'm doing. So here it is, what I was talking about. Just let's wait for a ton of time to pass. Oh. 'I'm not used to this. I use yarn at work, and I usually have the log file in place, so it kind of knows what to look for and where to look for it. So it takes much less time. And this cold install is pretty enormous. And also yarn has the local cache, so if you installed some packages, it won't fetch them if they match the version. Maybe npm also has cache now. Most likely it does, but I don't know. Don't follow npm release cycle for a couple of years. Five minutes into stream so far. Guess I could start another stream, play some games for a couple hours, and then get back to it. Is npm down? There's no fun in preparation. Stuff should stop working as soon as you stream. And you should sit there, stare into the webcam, and come up with excuses. Start some stand-up. Jeez. Okay, I can't bear with this. Let's do this. I'm not affiliated with Yarn, and it's not video promoting Yarn. I just love it. It works for me. And just want it to be there and do the job. It will most likely take the same amount of time because it's a fresh user, so there is no cache, so it will still be kind of slow. Let's see. Ooh. Really? Okay. Okay. Use Yarn, kids. Do I have VS Code? Yay! macOS is a bit unexpected. You never know which application will be available. So binaries or not, I needed to install Node.js prior to stream. Yay. There's a lot of stuff. Oh, like someone's favorite package is like isNumber, which basically does a number comparison. Since JavaScript can't, I mean, it's dynamic language, but string is not a number. But this one is definitely trying to make it number. No? What's the point? Type of. What is the kind of? Kind of. What do you do? Get the native type of. Okay, undefined is undefined. Null is null. That's fair enough. Why? Why? If you can't stream the number, return false. And if you can't stream, I don't get it. What tree this? Can I open docs from here? No, I can't. It's boring? Is it? Isn't it? DN string trim. Yeah, makes sense. But so is it, if you try to do space minus space plus 1, it will still be 1? If it's A. Aha. How does it work, JavaScript? Okay, I at least understand how they detect if it's number, and of course, normal number doesn't work with this. Yeah, I mean this one can take a string which contains number like 54 and still say that yeah it's number. So it's less strict. It's more about contents of the given data, not about the type. But I mean, can't you do something like this? True. Okay. Spaces are weird. Spaces are numbers somehow. Swift developer in chat being excited by JavaScript. Yeah, that's what we deal with. This runs in your browser. This runs in most of your devices because everything has JavaScript apparently. Okay, wasn't interesting, was just horrible, but now we know. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I don't know if I ever need to find out if something passed is arguments, but okay. There's a lot of things. Yeah, all kinds of things, and in the end, it's like, yeah, it. After all, it must be a plain object. Trust us. Cool. Many things. What's use? But okay. Okay. Do I get it right? Is it express middleware stuff? Call plugin fn function is returned. It's definitely something for Express. Different take on plugin handling. This is not a middleware system. Okay, so it's not for Express. If you need something that handles async middleware, where is great for that? Okay. Let's see the examples. Let's go to this package. Maybe it's something good. If you didn't know, you can go to the package. No, I want the repo. The package repo with the command. Boom. Oh, didn't join GitHub. Yeah, why? Let's check out examples. What's going on there? I have function. I have name. We can use this. Yeah. I don't think I get it. Different take on plugin system, but gulp file. Is this one more simple? Oh my god. What's that for? Factory. Okay. This look like the description sounds like it's something useful and it's might be good, but I have no idea what it does and it just doesn't describe itself. Yet it has 226 million downloads, 22 million per month. Okay, this is definitely something popular, but God knows how it works and what it does. This one we don't need, this one I don't need. Nope. URIX. Something has X in the name, it's probably really cool. Makes Windows style path more Unix and URI friendly. Nope. Yeah, probably if you do something for Windows it might make sense, but I don't. UPath. No U. Drop-in replacement proxy to Node.js path that replaces the Windows with the Unix. Okay. That file and extensions functions. Add extension to extension. Normalize save function to preserve. This sounds like something useful. How do I do this? Like this. Oh, now it's readable. Why? Normal path doesn't convert path to unified format before calculating path, which can lead to numerous problems. Yeah, of course. Also, path joining normalization is not consistent. Yada yada. Note that using Unix / on Windows works perfectly inside Node.js and other languages, so there's no reason to stick to the Windows legacy at all. Yes! Yeah, okay. Again, might be useful if you do something for Windows. I mean, yeah, it has like extension utilities, but okay. Frankly speaking, I hate using of exclamation mark for false equating. I'm not sure about which one you talk. If you are talking about something like, I don't know, 1 not equal to 0, or are you talking about doing something like if not something? Is it first or second? Because first one, I think it exists in other languages quite a lot, and yeah, so first one is fine. I don't have any troubles with this, but this one, I don't know. I mean, it's okay if you got used to it. Some languages has it as a keyword, kind of makes more sense. Some languages do this unless something, which I don't know. It blows my mind a bit. So, I mean, what's really sucky is when people start to do like this, which means that they just want. Okay, so they're not doing it like this. They do something like const some boolean. So it is essentially the same as writing boolean something, but you know, 2 characters instead of 9. Value equals false. Because damn it. I mean, I have an explanation, but it's more like a rant, because there is a code style forced by Airbnb and other companies which says that you can't use unstrict equation because it's bad. It might lead to issues. You might compare things which you don't want to compare and get false positives. So like these things and so on. Something equals false. I honestly never saw someone doing this, and I'm not using non-strict equation myself a lot because forced by linter, so stick to it. Kind of makes sense. I don't know, I would prefer to have something like not something. Pretty clear, pretty straightforward. There is a library which we use with like a bunch of small utilities, and it has not as function, which does this exclamation mark for you. So in our code, at some point, it may look like this, which to me is a bit more clear than just exclamation mark. What's bad about exclamation mark is that it's really a tiny symbol and you can just jump over it with your eyes and just not notice it, or notice too late. Not as good. Yeah, I really like keywords, but JavaScript community doesn't, and they invent more and more syntax. And since there are not that many symbols which you can use in JavaScript now, they start to make combinations. So there's like this pipeline operator which looks like this. So you write some function, takes one, and then another function takes result of it, and then another function, some other function takes result of this one, and so on and so on and so on. I mean, yeah, it is not that bad, but it's just like JavaScript moves fast, like moves forward really fast, and adding all this syntactic thingies to the language sucks, because like at some point, if you there's this like common fear of front-ender that you will get sick for a couple of weeks, you come back and you open the code and you just don't recognize half of it, and you don't know if it's real JS because all the symbols and new things. Whoa. Tar is not good. It's probably just a wrapper for the tar archive thingy. Full feature tar for now. And fast. Yay. SSRI. Short for Standard Sub-Resource Integrity, is a Node.js utility for parsing, manipulating, serializing, generating, and verifying sub-resource integrity hashes. Oh, it's some security web stuff from recent standards, if I don't confuse it with something else. Is it? Can't read standards. Sub-resource integrity. Yes, MDN. MDN is good. MDN knows how to explain stuff. Security feature that enables browsers to verify that resources they fetch are delivered without unexpected manipulation. Yeah. So it's like MD5 hash or some other hash which allows browser to verify if some resource is still the one that you expect. Okay. Maybe it's useful, but maybe some other day. Okay, not this one. Webpack is pretty boring. Snapdragon. What? Fast, pluggable, and easy to use parser render factory. Okay, so it doesn't relate to the processor. Okay, created by John Schlicker. Okay. Bootstrap your own parser, get source map support for free. All parsing and compiling is handled by simple reusable middleware functions. Inspired by parsers in PUG and CSS. So is it templating or parser middleware can be called? Parser like what it parses? Snapdragon node, Snapdragon util. I do not understand. I think this is the same guy who made this use. Is it you? Is it you? So many packages. Kind of is his. Use, yeah. You are cool, dude, and you don't explain well what your stuff is doing. Or it's just too advanced and I don't understand what it's supposed to do. Parsers are middleware functions used for file. Okay, I found it. You should scroll further. It's me who is stupid here. str options use. Okay, so this is parser. Gets string, matches something, returns the node. Okay. Okay. Okay, this one might be actually cool. If you want to write your own parser for some reason, we actually have one, so we might use it. I need to start writing down the package names. I can't. Touch notes. MD, please. Am I cool, kid? Nah. So Snapdragon is parser render factory, as they say, or as I would say, framework for your own parsers and renderers. Okay. Object copy, object visit, yeah. Always browser file. P-limit, it's something with promises. Run multiple promise return and async functions with limited concurrency. Okay. Okay, this one is actually useful. Oh, Cindersaurus, of course. So half of the package is created by him and another half is by the guy who created Use and Snapdragon. I want this one. This one is good. limit promise concurrency. Cool. How do you do it? Hey. No, not you. Oh, concurrency must be more than one. Const queue, active count. Yeah. I like it, especially if you, I don't know, if you do something in file system and if you want to, I don't know, globe a bunch of files and do the same thing on them. Usually I do promise all, and then stuff just gets super slow because all the files are being read and written at the same time. This one looks good. Plocate. Get the first fulfilled promise that satisfies the provided testing function. Ooh. Think of it like an async version of array find. This is good. Oh, Sindra, you're so good. You make so many good packages. Could just sit and review his packages all the time. Array find for promise. Oh, cool. It's like related. More. Promise fun. How many of them you have? Quite a number. Create a promise that reports progress. How? Ah, okay, from inside the promise. Still need to keep track of it yourself. Let's take note of this one too. Reflect. Make promise always fulfill with its actual fulfillment value or rejection reason. What? Useful when you want to a promise to fulfill no matter what and would rather handle the actual state afterwards. Here, promise all would normally fail early because one of the promises rejects, but by using reflect, we can ignore the rejection and handle later on. Okay. No, don't do anything like this. Break. How do I break out of a promise chain for a better way? So return early when doing conditional login and promise change. Here I'd like to leave them. Okay. What am I doing here? Nothing. Built-in status codes. The map of HTTP status codes from the built-in HTTP module exposes the latest directly from HTTP in Node. The zero dependencies version for the browser. Aha. Fantastic. Yeah, and for the browser it's mocked. Okay. Create HMAC. Cyclist. That's a cool name. An efficient cyclic list implementation for JavaScript. Cyclist allows you to create a list of fixed size that is cyclic. In a cyclist list, the element following the last one is the first one. Aha! This probably can be really useful when, for example, trying to order data packets that can arrive out or over a network stream. Whoa, that's tiny. Ensure to power. What I also don't like is this style when people omit curly braces. So it's just like you don't see the blocks. You don't see that if it happens here. I don't know, for me it's like not obvious. I need to read code carefully. I mean, just compare to this. Same for a while. Yeah, yeah. There's an if that does something, there's a while that does something. You don't need to read, you just see that there are two blocks that do something not in the normal way. It's like conditional or loop or I don't know, whatever, any control flow you can have. It's like some can say, yeah, this is to optimize the size, but you can minimize it with any minifier then. Oh, VS Code starts scrolling down. Map cache, map visit. IsArray. This is like the most discussed NPM package outside JavaScript world. This. It's like the first argument in the when someone starts talking about NPM and micromodules, everyone says like, yeah, it is array module to detect if something is array. Yeah. Why is it worse than the? I mean, you want to write it yourself. You want to write it in every project you do. I mean, that's how it works. You write it 50 times, then it's like, why not to make a module of it? And you just do it. Done. I mean, JavaScript doesn't have standard library, so NPM is kind of standard library. Not really standard, but still, at least it's library. I mean, half the goal achieved. I murmur hash. An increment of implementation of the murmur hash. Oh, I have no idea what's this, and I don't think I want to. Ignore walk. Recursive git ignore npm ignore parsing. Whoa. Damn, short property names are super ugly. I mean, in general, one-letter variables are crap, but I mean, sometimes you just can't make anything else. Like if you do the loop, you will make the I variable because like it's not about space. And also some things, I don't know, if you create general purpose function, yeah, now it will be like a lot about functional programming and all these things, but you have a function called map, la la la, which takes predicate and an array. So, and these names are short, and here they are short not for the sake of like to save space or keystrokes, but just because, I mean, if you're in all this FP world, not the real functional programming, but like JavaScript functional programming, people kind of know all these things. And okay, F is function, XS is array. And when you, why did I write it? Yeah, it makes sense. And when you loop, like because single item of x's is x, and so on and so on. But I mean, if you write something a bit less general than array map and more, I mean, something that works with more specific data than just like pass whatever data here and you will get the result, then yeah, you don't want to use one letter variables. You want to pass something that makes sense in this context. Index of wait, but why? For object. What? Lame index of thing. Thanks, Microsoft. Okay. Index array object. This is fantastic documentation. What's the name? Index of. And there's no repo. Description. Microsoft sucks. Dude, why so angry? Yeah, so object is anything in this case. So it's regular index of. What's your problem? I don't understand why someone need this. Someone was definitely angry. In flight. Something about promises again? Callbacks. Add callbacks to requests in flight to avoid async duplication. Only assigns a single set timeout. When it dings, all callbacks get called. In case false value or new callback. Okay. Kind of get it, but think feels like promises solve it, and but it is for nope. Miller-Rabin. This is something scientific. Okay. I suppose to know what is Miller-Rabin. Okay. What is this? Ah. And generate random binds until a number less than n is found. What is Miller-Rabin? Primality test, which determines whether a given number is prime, similar to the Fermat. Okay, today I learned. Good. Some other day. Mississippi. Ooh! A collection of useful stream utility modules. Learn how the modules work using this. And then pick the ones you want and use them individually. The goal of the modules included in Mississippi is to make working with streams easy without sacrificing speed, error handling, or composability. Sounds good. I work with streams rarely and I always suffer because I just forgot how they work and I need to read documentation again. Pipe streams together, destroys all of them, and if one of them closes. Okay. Nah. npm bundle. Run this in a node package and it'll tell you which things in node modules are bundled dependencies or transitive dependencies of bundled dependencies. Okay, okay, okay. Couldn't care less. Number is none. So, because this one is a fresh thing, so it's a polyfill. Fine, I accept that. Prr. And sensible, a sensible alternative to object-defined properties. Should make a pull request to fix it. All these packages are the part of one package, or yeah, it's a single package. It's actually a really huge application. It is used to build web applications. It allows you to so there is a JavaScript import-export system, like the Node one, which is called CommonJS, and it works only with JavaScript. And Webpack allows you to use it to import basically anything into JavaScript. So you can import CSS, and it will be inlined or I don't know outputted to a separate CSS file. Or you could import images and the imported value will be a URL to this image, and this image will be put to corresponding folder, or I don't know. So basically, it has a bunch of plugins for many formats and many things. Like some other cases, a bit more specific for frameworks, like you can have a plugin which allows you to import SVGs as React components. So you don't need to like wrap them yourself in the code. You just get the component in the end and you use it in your application as if it was written as a component. But on the disk, it's still an SVG image, and you still can work with it in Sketch. Because if you have it as a component, it sucks because you can't just then import it to Sketch to fix something. You need to tear out the SVG, fix it, then export it again, then put it to React component, and then you need to rename some of the attributes because React doesn't work with attributes which have dashes in it, and so on and so on. So it's quite a huge thing with all the plugin systems, with all the optimizations it applies. It also like builds graphs for the dependency tree and so on and so on. So it's a huge one. But yeah, it still uses some things like isArray, isNumber, and so on. So what is per? Sensible alternative to object-defined property, available in npm. So it's like object-defined property for lazy people. I don't know, if you use object-defined property 1,000 times in your application, maybe it makes sense to use the package. But if you do it 3 times, like seriously, why? Just type it out. It's not that big. Pascal case. I've been there. I was reading PRR. Public encrypt. Pump. Pump is a good name. Pump is a small node module that pipes streams together and destroys all of them if one of them closes. Dude, it's already available in Mississippi. Oh my god. Query string S3, random bytes. I want random bytes. Are they really random? Ah, okay. You know, I expected something like this XKCD strip about random number like equals 4, chosen by a fair dice roll. Repeat element, repeat string, ret. Tokenizes strings that represent regular expressions. Tokens will contain the following object type: ret types char. Okay, if you parse regular expressions, makes sense. Sucks number. Nothing catches my attention anymore. To object path. If it's something that I think it is, it's a good thing. Create an object path from a list or array of strings. Oh yeah. Or wait, no. Ah, I thought it will take an object and what? Like flatten the keys. So instead of deeply nested object, you have a shallow one with keys to be with dots. I needed this one. I needed it. It's there on npm somewhere. There's 800,000 packages. It should be there. Just need to find it. How one can rely on so many things then? What if one of them will change drastically one day? You're not the owner. How can you trust even half of them? Ho ho! I mean, people use all these packages in a huge amount in their own projects and build these huge dependency trees between all the packages on npm. to make npm dramas possible. Because if there won't be npm dramas, front end and the JavaScript world will be pretty boring. So yeah, you can't trust this stuff, and sometimes really huge issues arise, and they lead to some changes. But unless shit hits the fan, the changes are not made, or no one thinks about the things that can prevent it. So you never know where troubles come from next time. Like one of the best examples was one dude had a package on npm called kick, like kik, and there is a messenger called kick, and they wanted the name for this package for their JavaScript client, and they started to talk to npm to get the name, because it's a registered trademark and so on, and they can claim it and so on. But I think it's not covered in terms, because they said like, yeah, talk to the guy if he can transfer name for you. And at some point, I don't remember correctly, it's either the name was taken from him, or no, I think he was basically raged because of the email conversation. The guy from Kik who was writing to him, he started to write stuff like, yo, dude, you don't want our lawyers to start knocking your door and things like this. So he got pissed off real much, and he removed all his packages from npm. And one of these packages, most of them were not that important, but one of them was called left pad, and what it was doing is prepending. So you set a length of the string, and you pass a character, and it basically puts this character on the left side of the string to make all strings equal length. And hi. And this guy basically blown half of the npm registry, because there was a huge amount of packages relying on this, and no one could build their projects at that day because they were failing. And after that, the npm they recovered the package. And the second thing they did is that they disallowed removing packages which are more than 48 hours long, old. Mm, you mean tests for these packages, or what? If you talk about tests for the packages, they are not here, because why would you download them? Like some of the packages include tests, but many don't. And the tests are in the repo. What is here is downloaded from the registry, and the files published to the registry usually are the ones that needed for module to work, and tests are not really needed. Who needs tests? Seriously. I'm kidding. Maybe some packages doesn't have tests, but they shouldn't be there. Like if I open this, yeah, this one has tests. This one doesn't. It's just not included in the package. But if we go to npm repo buffer from, we'll get to GitHub of this package, and it does has test. It's quite compact, because package is probably really small, but some people treat tests as part of the source code, some people treat tests as part of what they should deliver. So depends on the author. Are we there yet? Track complex hierarchies of asynchronous task completion statuses. Nice if you do command line applications, I guess. A proba. A ridiculously lightweight function argument validator. My func test. Okay. Where's the validate? SNF. Aha. Not all of them. I mean, I wouldn't trust all of the npm packages. It's a mess. I like this one. Okay. I think I'm done for today. So if anyone wants to ask some stuff, do this now. You have 5 minutes. Otherwise, I will shut this down. Is it like if you know 3 commands, it's considered to be a pro Vim user? Yes, I wanna. Let's do it in 10 minutes. This means stream is over. Thank you, everyone. Good night, and whatever time of the day you have.